What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Come Away, the newest film from director Brenda Chapman. Before we begin, if you like my channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome, hit that like button and comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. So Come Away tells the story of the Littleton family, and of course the mother and father, played by Angelina Jolie and David Oyelowo, and in the story they have three kids, David, Peter, and Alice, and because this movie is sort of a riff on Peter Pan and of course Alice in Wonderland, this whole idea of this movie kind of focuses on the children experience and what they have to go through, after loss and so on and so forth. So we see, Neverland, we see Wonderland, and we see like the adventures of how they can use their imagination with simple things as like sticks and a half turned over boat and so on and so forth. And in the movie, it shows kind of how their imagination runs. In the process, in the unfortunate event of these types of movies, someone does perish, the older son, and it leaves like a big gaping hole in the whole narrative of this family. And on top of that, the family is very poor. The David Oyelowo character owes money to a bunch of thugs, and of course the Angelina Jolie's character has a sister that's very wealthy, and the sister is very pretentious and not very nice and kind of wants to take Alice away from the family to make her a proper woman, and she's really misguided in this movie. And it basically shows how this family has to kind of navigate a loss and how they have to push themselves forward while the kids start escaping into their imagination to kind of eke their way out of not having to deal with the fact that David is not there anymore and the family is on the brink of just collapse, and that's the story. So with that said, and the story kind of out of the way, this is a movie I had no anticipation for, just for the simple fact I've never heard of this movie before, so I had no kind of idea what I was getting myself into. But I did read a little bit about this movie. I read that it had some Peter Pan stuff. I read that it had some Alice in Wonderland stuff, with the simple fact that the kids were named Peter and Alice. I knew that it was dealing with some, death scenarios with some kids that passed away. And I knew it was going to the realms of stuff like Finding Neverland and Christopher Robin. But other than that, outside of Angelina Jolie, I didn't honestly know. I haven't even watched the trailer for this, so I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And on top of that, I had heard Brenda Chapman direct this, and I did kind of enjoy Brave, and I really enjoyed Prince of Egypt. But like I said, when a movie like this comes out and there's literally no buzz or no like marketing for it, like how am I supposed to know what I'm getting myself into? So I come up with two scenarios. I'm gonna either really enjoy this movie because it fits into the world of like those, things where they take very famous children's stories and kind of turn them into dramas, or I'm just not gonna be on board with it. It's just there's no in between. And I'll be absolutely honest with you, when it comes down to the movie, I didn't like the movie at all. I didn't think it was entertaining. That was quite boring. I think it tries to pull at your heartstrings and it really doesn't succeed on that. I think the fact that like the family drama is just not there. I don't think the kids and the parents really have great chemistry with one another, but I still think there is some magic there, especially with the imaginations of the kids, that it doesn't make it the worst thing I've ever seen. I just didn't think the movie delivered in all the aspects of what it was trying to do, which is be in that Finding Neverland and Christopher Robin era. And it's just because the story is just so melodramatic and so of that TV sense that it just doesn't have anything that you haven't seen before. It doesn't have anything new. It doesn't present anything exciting. And it just gives us a very downtrodden, very sad story. We have a sister of the Angelina Jolie's character who's a very highfalutin, very pretentious woman that just doesn't treat her sister very well because of the fact that she's married to David Oyelowo, he's not a very rich fellow. He's actually a poor individual who is dealing with some demons with his own brother and father, on top of having to owe some money to some thugs. And it's just a very sad nature to see. Why do we need this villainous type character in this movie who is not a villain per se, but the way she acts, the way she wants to take the Angelina Jolie's daughter away from her because Angelina, the young girl Alice, is just different in how this woman expects her to think. It's just not a very well told tale. And like I said, all of a sudden, the David Oyelowo character owes money. It's like now you're having to deal with problems with your own brother and stuff like that. So it's just a very downtrodden movie. And then of course, like I said, one of the kids dies, which is a very tropey type of thing for these films. films. It seems to be like in every type of these scenarios when there's a family drama that's dealing with some storylines of like Peter Pan and, you know, Alice in Wonderland, there has to be some parent that's dying or some kid that's dying. So it's a very been there, done that, seen that type of movie. And like I said, the kids in the movie are fine. When they get into some of the visual aspects, it's fine, but the overall movie is not good. It really isn't. So it's a complete disappointment. Like I said, I understand what they were going for. I understand the heartstrings moments that they were trying to go for. But when you present a story that just feels like it's overtrodden and sad and depressing, it doesn't really feel like it has any excitement to it. It just, I don't know. And then on top of that, Gugu Mbatha-Raw pops up in this movie as the narrator / older Alice, and you just feel like it's just too little too late at that point, because I love Gugu Mbatha-Raw, but she just doesn't really have anything to add to this movie. So overall, I didn't like this movie. People might like this more than I did, but I just think it was very manipulative and tries to pull your heartstrings when it doesn't succeed. So it is what it is, but I didn't like it. So, but anyways, that's going to be my take on this movie, Come Away. Like I said, maybe you like it more than I do. So in the comments below, let me know what your favorite child's tale is, you know, depending on what your age is. Do you like the Peter Pans, or do you like the Harry Potters, all that good stuff? I'd be interested to know what you say. Otherwise, if you like what you see on my channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of the videos, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.